So let me get into the Cowboys and what the solution is. And I cannot say that, this is some original idea by me. I can say that I'm actually late to this party. But the Cowboys need a coach who can dwarf Jerry Jones. And there's only one coach who can dwarf Jerry Jones, Deion Sanders. I have to admit that Deion Sanders is the right man to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. There's a bunch of other candidates that people are going to throw around, and I've considered, thought about them. None of them can do what what Deion Sanders can do. He can make Jerry Jones less relevant. Here's some of the other candidates. Bill Belichick, great coach, maybe the greatest coach in football history. He's out there. He's been humbled. He'd be a very good coach for the Dallas Cowboys. But he would not make Jerry Jones less relevant. He would not be any competition for Jerry Jones's post-game news conference and Jerry Jones's ability to always center himself as the focus of attention in that organization. The owner can't be the focus of attention of a football organization if the organization is going to be run properly, have the right tone. It can't be the guy who's cutting the checks and who overpays for guys that he likes and who's not willing to say, you know what, Dak Prescott, you've been very good, but I'm not paying you $60 million a year. I know you've been a great leader. I know you've stuck with me, but we have a hardcore business football decision we have to make, and we got to move on from you. Deion Sanders would do that. He would do that, and he would dwarf Jerry Jones in terms of the ability to draw attention to himself. Deion is the number one sports person. The guy went 4-8 last year and got named Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. That's how much attention Deion Sanders can draw, and that's how much attention needs to be taken away from Jerry Jones. Bill Belichick can't do that. John Gruden can't do that. Mike Vrabel can't do that. Here's a guy that is a wild card that Jerry Jones talks about, but obviously it could not happen, in my view, if Jerry Jones went this direction. But I want to play shot number 2 and listen to Jerry Jones talk about Jason Witten, the former Cowboys tight end. Jerry Jones on Jason Witten. Play the clip.
No, we're not going to play the clip. We're not playing that stupid clip. We're not going to hear an 80-year-old senile man try to rationalize hiring another puppet. By the way, like, comment, subscribe as you come in here, man. Much love to everybody who's showing love to the channel. And you know what? I spent a lot of videos roasting, deep frying, cooking this Porky Pig looking raccoon Jason Whitlock. I've done this a lot, and I like it. It's entertaining. It's fun. Some people have found it funny or entertaining. I don't know what to find it. What I find it is necessary. It's needed, man. You know what I mean? It's really, really needed, because here's what it is. I'm not going to be an idiot. I know that Jason Whitlock actually has some good takes. I know that Jason Whitlock is actually talented at the art, or at least the profession of journalism. I know that he's a good writer. I know this. I know that he has some basic conservative values that are not only needed for the black community to hear, but are essential for all society to hear. But it just gets overshadowed by the blatant hypocrisy, the jealousy, the envy, the hatred, the self-hate, the disgusting, you know what I mean? You know, the disgusting behavior of his entire aura, bro. It all gets overshadowed, and that's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. It's like one step forward and 3 steps back. Irregardless of that, you know what I mean? The fact remains is this is a good take. This is a good take, and it's a take that he did not even come up with. He has been late to, because for the past 2 weeks, Stephen A. Smith, a person that Jason Whitlock has mercilessly went after, meaning going hard in the paint to discredit a man who he himself, I'm talking about Jason the fat bastard, has apologized to in the past. See, fat bastard is so absolutely hated and has such a disgusting attitude and aura that he used to insult Stephen A. Smith in the early or mid 2000s and created lies and narratives about him when they were both writers, and they were both more so behind the scenes in the writing career, right? So much so that at a certain point, Fat Bastard had to apologize to, Stephen A. Smith in a letter of apology. Now, how do we know this? We know this because Stephen A. Smith spilled the tea about a year ago, where he finally addressed, Jason Whitlock. See, Fat Bastard, right? And instead of actually learning from this and evolving, he doubled down. Why? Because the people who own his network or his show or who give him a check, the Blaze, decided, okay, we just need a black face to our hatred, bigotry, and let me keep it real, the racism. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black conservatives who do not hate black people as much as Jason does. There's a lot of black conservatives who don't go out of their way to disrespect other black people just for a check. There's a ton of black people who do that. A ton, man. A ton of black conservatives who are not on that hatred, on that bigotry, on that coon-ish. Now, let's get besides that. Let's hear about his take that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, would actually be great for the Dallas Cowboys. That is a good take. That's a take that he got from, again, Stephen A. Smith. But regardless, very good take. Very good take, because Jerry Jones is such a rich MFer. He is such a egotistical MFer that he does not want to be overshadowed. He wants to be the star of the star, right? And with that comes, him having to get somebody to coach the team that's willing to fight him back, that's not a puppet, that's not doing his free will. The Dallas Cowboys season is washed. It's over. They're probably going to get a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. It's not going to be Shedeur Sanders, because Shedeur is going to be playing for the New York Giants or the Vegas Raiders, one of the two. And whoever they get at 5 or 6, I don't think it should be a quarterback. It should be an offensive lineman, because their line is absolutely horrible. Should be maybe even a linebacker. They are not getting nobody on offense unless they are a tackle or a guard. That's about it. That's it. Because their O-line is pathetic. The fact remains is that if they have a coach like Deion Sanders, who actually has built programs and is able to bring in his type of guys, that would change the Dallas Cowboys infinitely. Why? Because he would be the star, meaning Deion Sanders is the star, and Deion Sanders takes up the room. That would be good for the Cowboys. Why? Because the only person who's taken up the room for the past, for the past 25, close to 30 some years has been Jerry Jones. And guess what they have to claim for that? 25 plus seasons of not going past the second round of the playoffs, of missing the playoffs, of going 8-8, 12-4. And now they're probably going to go 5-11, something like that, 5-12, something like that, because their schedule looks brutal. They are going to have 5 wins this season. That's it. And they're going to have a top 5 pick. They need a coach like Deion Sanders. And guess why Fatlock, the fat bastard, is approving of this? Because Fat Bastard is not blind. He sees what Deion has done. So here's what my theory. My theory is that the Fat Bastard is actually a fan of Coach Prime. Why? Because if you have such a deep hatred for somebody, you must like them to a certain degree. A deep hate. I don't deeply hate Jason Whitlock. I use him as a proxy for a message that is anti-hating yourself as a black person. He is a proxy to my message. You know what I mean? I don't hate this man. But here's the thing. Jason actually hates Deion Sanders, and I think the inverse is also true. He secretly loves Deion Sanders. He's probably on the rainbow. He's probably a fruitcake. It is what it is. Shout out to the fruitcakes, man. Big JTV, like, comment, sub,